the Sleon Productions podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, and anyone that is influencing the world and innovating. Today we have a special guest. I have never had a person related to the artificial intelligence industry. It is new this year. A lot of news, a lot of companies shifting. Google has gotten into it. Apple, I heard they're trying to get into it. Today we have Micah Berkley. He is a leading AI implementation expert and a LeadGen campaign engineer. He has a lot of background in technology, has worked in the top tech companies in the world. And no further ado, Micah, welcome to the Sleon Productions podcast.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing, man? I'm so happy to be here, bro. Catching up with you is like catching up with like Biden. You know, I mean, like you presidential level, man. And I love the fact that you have this dope platform that you're building, and I'm here to support you 1,000%. And let's go. Let's talk.
Yeah. So a quick intro of how we met. There is a AI meeting in Miami that week that meet every Tuesday, actually, not monthly, every Tuesday. And when I went to my to the meeting, my friend Michael was telling me about. It's like, you gotta go to this meeting. This is a must go. Absolutely. I went. I was shocked. Micah was one of the speakers. I don't know if he speaks there every Tuesday, but he caught my attention, and that's why he's on this podcast today.
Yeah, it's called GPT Tuesdays, like GPT, but GPT Tuesdays. It's put together by a really amazing squadron of AI engineers and educators. And I'm proud to say that that's my little home team, and I'm loving what's happening with that. And it's a weekly event. Like, it's not like you have to wait every month for this. You just wait 6 days, right? And then next day you're there. And it's really dope because it allows people who are in this space to really be able to harmonize and synergize with people who are building AI tools, building AI suites, and just making money with this game, because there's a lot of money to be made here.
Yeah, a lot, and like also early on. But let's rewind a little bit, Micah. How'd you get into the tech industry?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you, I lied my whole way through the tech industry. I lied the whole way through. So when I first got into it, I started working at United Airlines. I wasn't qualified for what I was doing, but I said I was. But I learned on the job really fast, right? Same thing with some of the other jobs, Hyatt. And I was able to cap my way all the way up to Google, which is crazy, right? Like, when I was doing at United and I was doing at Hyatt, I was building network operations centers. So those rooms that you see with all the screens and everything?
Yeah.
Somehow, some way I convinced a lot of people to think that I can build those. And what I ended up doing was building one in my own house, learning how to do it using open source software. And when he gave me these cards with like $1 million budgets on it, I'm only spending like $30,000 because I'm using open source software. And they really respected me. I was like the prince of the knock at that point, And so my background is actually cloud infrastructure and on-prem infrastructure. And then I was able to transition when I got, to Google and BMW and Fashion Nova, all these other companies, more, affluential companies, Fortune 500s or Fortune 100s. And that's when I really started getting to the real deepness of like tech. That's when I started getting into AI. That's when I became an SRE, site reliability engineer. That's when I became a cloud architect. And I dove in head first. And one thing I loved about it was the money was good, right? Because I'm a kid from the hood. It wasn't like I was like, this was not my calling per se, right? I just figured it out as I went along because those paychecks are great. So it allowed me to really experiment, learn how to do things myself on the fly. And it got me to where I am now, where I'm an AI solutions architect, where I build solutions using AI now. And I help businesses really automate and make them more efficient, because AI is everything, man. You know how that works.
So AI, artificial intelligence, has been around more than this year. Right. Believe it or not, but it has been more popular this year. Tell us the background of that. How'd you get involved with AI, and what year was this?
So it was only a couple of years ago. I remember my first experience with AI was at Google, and it was on a machine learning level, right? So it wasn't that I could really understand deeply what it was doing, but I understood to support the infrastructure that it was running on. And that was the important part, right? I understood how big of a beast that this thing was and the computational demands that I had, and I had to support it. I had to make sure that it stayed up and operational, right? And I'm talking about machine learning back in the day required a fleet, a huge cloud computing operation, right? Because this stuff was massive back then. Still massive now, but then it was even bigger. And once I got to BMW, that's when I really started learning how to use this computational, how this AI becomes something that's more directly in touch with how humans interact, because I saw it being used in our vehicles. That was a game changer. And so look, if you have a vehicle driving down the road, right, 40 miles per hour, and it has to make a decision. Either it can hit the car, it has to stop short, right? The car in front of you, the truck in front of you is stopping short. So the car has to protect itself. You are the highest value target in that vehicle. So I've learned, like, okay, these decisions are being made 1,000 times a second, right? There's a, to the right of you, there's, to the left of you is a Jersey barrier, to the right of you is a caravan, and behind you is a motorcycle. Somebody's gonna have to take a L, right? And AI is making those decisions 1,000 times a second. And you give things weights, and you give things that it sees around you certain characteristics and attributes to help the AI make these decisions. And that's when I really started getting into AI and learning how I can use it, not just for, I mean, obviously the car stuff was crazy interesting. I love being involved in it. But now I really got a taste of it and how it can be used on a consumer level to help with decision making and to help process through a massive amount of data. And that takes us up through COVID, where I got laid off from all my jobs. I had a huge severance, right? So I get laid off. I got this massive severance, and I'm like, I'm never gonna work again. I'm just chilling. And little do I know that that money didn't last forever. So I really got back into what I love, which was AI and learning how to use AI for, you know, to optimize things that I was doing, from trading and whatever it may have been. And now it kind of, with the advent of generative AI, which is, we didn't have generative AI before. Generative AI, we had machine learning and AI tools that required developers and programmers to interact with it. Generative AI was one of the first tools, GPT-2 and GPT-3, that allowed consumers, regular consumers, to interact with it. And that was a game changer. That was a game changer in 2021, 2022, that really shifted the game.
You brought up Chat GPT, generative AI. Micah, this year it blew up. I think it was in February when everyone was talking about it. Was released by OpenAI, but I think it was released a little bit prior to that on like a beta form.
Right.
What did you know about Chat GPT? Did you know a whole lot about it before, or did you find out just like the rest of us?
So I found out a little bit earlier, just because I was already in the AI circles. Some people were talking about it. And GPT-2 was my first interaction with it. GPT-2 was open to the public. No one knew about it because it wasn't really being used on the level it was being used now. And it was good more at semantics. It was good at like sorting data and problem solving. It wasn't that great with language like it is now. So it was like, so if I gave it a CSV file or tons of information, it can sort it, it can manipulate that data very easily, but it wasn't being used for people outside of data science. And I was a data scientist at that point. So I was using it on a light scale. But then when it came out, when GPT-3 came out, and now it can complete people's sentences and write letters for people and write paragraphs and take away work that people didn't, you have to remember, the great thing about AI, it's a power, it's a force multiplier, right? So whatever you're doing, it allows you to do it on a multiplier. It allows you to multiply that energy, right? So if you're already writing blogs, it allows you to write blogs at a whole new level. If you're doing ads and trying to come up with text for ads, it allows you to do that on a whole new level. So when people really just started discovering that, they turn into Professor X mode, right? Where now you have all these new powers and these new gifts. That's when it really took off. I think that was around September of 2022 is when it really took off. I think that's like sometime around that time. So late summer of 2022 is when it really took off.
Yeah, which is something that I'm not surprised you found out months before when it really went mainstream. And to just to tell our audience what ChatGPT is, it does pretty much everything. You could call it as a personal assistant. If you want the Chat GPT to answer your question, it'll answer your question. If you want it to write an email, a beautiful email, they'll do it for you. One thing they're going to come out is images, images, which we'll get to that with Micah because Micah does have experience with that.
Right.
So can you tell us your projects with Chat GPT? Because in this meeting, you were kind of working on some projects here and there. But what are you working on with Chat GPT right now, or
AI
artificial
now.
intelligence?
Right. So what I've been able to do with AI is, so I'm a solutions architect, right? So I build solutions for problems that come to me. And since I'm using all these tools out there, I'm experimenting with a lot of tools, but I also have had to do Facebook ads, Google ads, spin up businesses really fast, websites, this and that. I'm able to kind of mesh these two worlds together pretty effectively. And what I've been doing with AI is using those superpowers to bring different things together and allow me to be hyper effective at it. So for instance, voice AI, right? There's some projects I'm working on that require me to make outbound phone calls and talk to people and gather information from these people. Before we would hire paralegals or assistants to do these types of operations, right? To perform these functions. Now I can use AI. I created tools where you upload a PDF document, the same questions that you would ask a person, you upload a PDF document, and AI will call the person up and ask them these questions and fill the document out for you. Game changer. Because now I'm not saying I want to get rid of paralegals, but they're going to have to reposition and pivot to something else now, which is probably going to be more technical on their point and more efficient on their point, right? They don't have to be calling people up anymore. We now have tools to do this. And I'm doing workshops right now for a myriad of different workshops. So for one of my workshops I'm doing is teaching people how to write a cookbook without touching any food, right? So we're using generative AI, using Midjourney to actually create the food, the images of the food, and you can write a cookbook in 24 hours and get it published and get it printed. And you can now drop a cookbook without ever touching food, but it's good food, right? Like these are ingredients and these are recipes that you created. And if you didn't create it, you can have AI create it, right? And it'll create the visuals for it. You throw it all together on a page. You get it. You go to our self-publishing website. You get it printed. You can have these books available to you in 3 or 4 days. You are now an author, right? So a lot of the tools and stuff that I'm implementing right now and I'm building right now are on these micro use cases that scale very well. I just had a restaurant client reach out to me the other day. He was like, "Yeah, I want to use ChatGPT for my Google My Business page, which is Google My Business. Long story short, is when you're looking up a business, on Google, and it gives you some information on the side about what that business is, how many ratings it has, times that it's open, and everything. So this guy really had a poor performing Google My Business page. He didn't have anything in it. So I was like, yeah, we could do that. But then I also saw his menu. His menu had no food. The food, the menu food items didn't have any pictures. So I was like, okay, there's a tool that allows me to use ChatGPT inside of Google Sheets. So I literally drag and drop. I take all the text from this page. I tell ChatGPT to turn it into a table. I export that table to Google Sheets. Google Sheets, I go in there and say, hey, go to Midjourney and grab these images, make images for all these items. The entire process took maybe 35, 45 minutes. Where I have now almost 30 different images for all these items that he cooks available now on his Google My Business page. This is something that would have taken 2 or 3 days to do before, because you have to cook the food, you have to get the photographer to come in, take pictures of it while you're in the restaurant. People are seeing you doing early morning, late at night.
Yeah, taste test it too.
Taste test, but look at the photos that were coming out looked like the food that he cooks. It was right there. It was spot on. What really helped was that since he didn't have photos, he had really good descriptions. So this is where AI comes in and really shakes up the game and changes stuff. Excuse my language.
It's okay. So, interesting you say that you touched Midjourney. I actually got DaVinci and still using it, still testing it out. How accurate is AI image generation?
Okay, so check this out. Right now, I've created pages called virtual influencers, right? These are pages of women and men who look so realistic that you can't tell they're not realistic. They're garnering anywhere between 2,000 to 5,000. Well, actually, that's a little excessive, but they're doing about 1,000 people a day as new friends. That's the rate that I'm growing at right now for some of these pages. Like some of these pages have 100,000 followers on it, right? You don't even know that they're an influencer. You don't even know that they're not real because these images are so real at this point that, like for instance, the Miami Heat had a game. I put this new influencer I created in a Miami Heat outfit and had her talk and go Miami Heat. Everyone's like retweet, 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 reshare, reshare, reshare. And a lot of people do know it's an influencer, man, an AI influencer, but it's so realistic that you just want to engage with it anyway, right? And what we do is there's Chrome extensions that you can run that use ChatGPT to answer all the comments. So you just sit in there posting up stuff, answers are coming back from AI because they're talking to AI, and you're monetizing the whole way up, right? So now people the sponsors are like, hey, can we put something in your stories? Or can you have your brand, can I have my brand where my brand makes this type of t-shirt? Can I give you the print, with the picture of the t-shirt? Can you put it on your AI avatar? I'm like, yeah, for $250, I can do that for you. Now the money's coming in, right? So yeah, is it real looking? Hell yeah, it's real looking. It looks so real that a lot of people don't even notice it. And that's the great thing about it now. That opens up a whole world of controversy, right? That I'm not here for and I don't care about it. What I'm going to say to you is this. This is the future of where this stuff is going. Whether you want to accept it or not, this is where it's going.
Yeah, and if you look at or follow Micah's Instagram page, you can see a lot of those examples. I've seen it, and which we'll get to, like his address a little bit later on the show. Micah, one thing you brought up that we spoke about before is video, AI video. That's like another wave that's coming. What do you know about that? And is it here already, or is it still trying to generate it itself?
So it's here when it comes to creating people, and like what I'm doing with these virtual influencers. Yeah, it's here. You can get a girl, you can have her walking down the street, and AI will generate the full body, the full background at the resolution of the original photo, so you can't tell that it's not real, right? And what you do is you kind of feed it images or videos of women or people doing like hopping around or whatever they might be doing, and it will mimic those images, mimic that body work, mimic whatever they're doing. So it's baked into the output, right? So we can have an image of a AI avatar open up the refrigerator and looking at the food in the refrigerator for food, right? And say, hey, you need food? Go to Publix.com. Oh, this is not a sponsor for Publix, but now when it comes to videos and movies, we're slowly getting there, right? When you're doing complete generative AI videos and things of that nature, we're slowly getting there, but we're getting there fast. Well, we're slowly getting there in terms of quality, but the adoption is happening it's happening much faster, right? So I'm starting to see, I saw Gen 2 put out so Gen 2 is one of the big dogs in terms of animating images into video using generative AI. So you can either seed it with the image or you can text prompt the video. And they're doing these video contests now, like the Emmys, where not the Emmys, what do you call those independent film awards or whatever it may be, like the Sun something, whatever awards. They're doing stuff like that now of people creating videos.
Yeah, it's called Sundance Movie Festival. Yeah.
So they're doing like virtual Sundance festivals online now of people creating some amazing work. Because here's the crazy part. One of the challenges that most of us had when it comes to creating videos, one, shooting the video, sound and voice, finding talent, setting scenes, all that is eliminated now. Because voice, we can replicate any voice on planet Earth now. That's easy. That happens instantly. You can use 11 Labs for something like that. You give it 1 minute of voice, you're done, right? You can create it. You can create video by mimicking and cloning other videos. You can do that very easily now. set the scene. Mid-Journey makes the best images in the world, right? So you can create an image of anything. And sourcing people, you can now use AI generative people to source it. So everything, every element of this is why the there was such a long strike for, you know, the actors, which is still going on at this moment as we shoot this video, which is still going on, and there was a strike for the writers because they know AI is that powerful where they literally can be replaced. You know, it's there. Did you see those videos with Tom, what's his name? Tom, the famous actor, Tom Cruise. There was a guy who was doing the deep fake Tom Cruise, where he kind of looked like Tom Cruise, AI deep faked him, and he was doing all these videos looking like he was actually Tom Cruise. And everyone believed it. No one didn't know it was him for a while. Everyone thought it was Tom Cruise, and that's where we are right now. So if, let's say an actor starts off a movie, but for some reason he can't finish the movie, AI will finish that movie for them now. We don't need you no more. We already have your image. We already have your voice. We already have your demeanor, your idiosyncrasies. That's locked in. We could do the movie now. It's a crazy living.
Crazy world. And of course, as Micah says, that's still under development. Future ideas that work with artificial intelligence or ChatGPT. What industries do you see? Of course, you mean you named a few already, but what industries that you have not seen tapped yet? That hey, this has a lot of potential, and I can see people developing in this industries or whatever.
Voice is going to be huge. Legal is going to be huge. Elderly care, anything with elderly care is going to be massive. So as our population is getting older, and then the new aging population is not scared of technology like the elders. You know what I'm saying? So to have the idea of having technology in the bedroom, the idea of having technology to help them walk, the idea of having an Alexa remind them that they have to take their medicine, that's going to be a monumental business really soon. Legal is going to be huge because, I mean, minorities are still getting locked up at record paces and they don't have money for lawyers, this and that. I believe I've gotten out of 2 tickets because of AI. It wrote the whole motion for me and I was able to beat the tickets. Wow. So it's there. That's already there. Right now, criminal law is a bit more sophisticated, criminal and family, but it's there. It's almost at that finish line where you can ask it questions and advise you and write up motions and things of that nature. And whoever really taps into the urban demographic with that, it's to the moon. And the voice AI stuff, voice is not going away. Phone calls are not going away. There's gonna be some way, somehow, whoever figures that out, which I hope is me. Billions.
Mike, you've brought a lot of ideas there. This is going to be interesting. So tell us a little bit more about that weekly meeting in Miami on Tuesday. I know that you're one of them that goes and also participates, but can you tell us a little bit about that and how can people know more information?
Honestly, if you're on LinkedIn, just look at GPT Tuesdays. GPT Tuesdays happens every week. It's at a place called The Hub, which is right down near downtown Miami, right before you get to downtown from Edgewater. It's what's dope about it is this. It's like it's a conglomerate of all like-minded people who are in AI, and the goal is we all want to help level each other up. Right? And I've been to other AI events in Miami where it's like, I'm the big dog, you're the big dog, I'm the big dog. We don't got time for that. Honestly, it's really, really just, just good people just sharing and exchanging and talking, talking shop about AI development, how we use it in our different businesses, and that it's free. Everyone's welcome. Come.
Yeah, and it's a good place to network and also hear whole different ideas. I heard one guy that was using different languages, right, and using the ChatGPT API. So if you're not in Miami, check out some some other communities in your town, and I'm sure if not, hey, start one. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a big, well, not a big crowd, but a lot of people come in,
You'll be
and
surprised
just
how many people are interested in this, right? It doesn't
very,
take much. You can just put something on Eventbrite, and people will bite at it. I can promise that.
yeah, and it's still early, Micah.
It
We're
is.
still in
We're
the early
still at the
stages.
we're still at the 1-2% mark right now. People keep saying like, oh, So here's the one thing I say about AI, and I'm gonna speak to all minorities and everyone out there, but particular minorities. Hear me out when I say this. I say this very clearly. AI is the only industry in our lifetime where we have absolute parity with everyone else, right? You can start studying on AI right now, spend the next 3 months in it, and be up to date with some of the OGs because it just started. So all these people saying, oh, it's moving so fast. It is, but it's not too late for you to get involved in it. It's not too late for you to build up a simple business that helps people put up ads and you make money from it. I put up my Facebook page the other day that said, I put up a post that says, teach your kids. I said, have your kids open up a Fiverr.com account, have them open up a Midjourney account, and have them build logos for people on Fiverr.com, right? And people were like, well, that doesn't work anymore. So I opened up an account myself. The same day, I was able to close my first sale. And I posted the receipts on my page. Like, stop lying. This is for everybody, right? So, and there's people out there who don't know this technology. What they want is their outcome of it, right? I want a logo. I need a logo for my business. You can use AI for this, right? And I'm telling you guys, when I mean this so sincerely, it is the only industry that you're going to experience in your lifetime right now. But you don't need to have a degree. It doesn't matter if you have felonies. It doesn't matter if you speak Spanish, you don't speak, whatever it is. You can talk to ChatGPT in, I think, 34 different languages. You have no excuses at this point, right? There's no such thing as no. So sit down, start playing with ChatGPT, play with the free version. There's other websites like Claude and Bing and Bard. Take a time to look those up. Bard, Bing, Claude, and ChatGPT. Those are the 4 that you need to know about. 3 of them are free, right? Bard is free. Claude is free. Claude is the big dog. And Bing is like ChatGPT, just kind of filtered down a little bit. But guys, you can do this. There's money here for all of you guys. There's money here. There's so much money that's laying on the table, and I want you guys to get it. And you're getting schooled right now, my man. Show you get in the game right now. I'm putting you guys on, my man. My man reached out to me, be like, yo, I need to put my audience on, and I'm trying to do that for you, right? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Jump into AI. You don't have to change what you're doing in your life right now. This could be something you do at late at night, but ChatGPT will guide you toward the answers. So jump on this. I really truly believe that if you really want to have that advantage in the future, you need to learn this.
100%. Micah, this is a whole different world. This is web 3.0, 4.0, whatever you want to call it. This is definitely changing the world. So how can people reach you, contact you if you have any questions? And what is your Twitter, your social media, and all that jazz?
Easy. So the AImogul.com will take you to all my links. The AI Mogul, THE, mogul.com, and work with Micah. Work with Micah is MICAH.com. So work with MICAH.com. That will get you to where I have all my workshops and my lives and all my videos, all my educational stuff. So you can join there. So I'm easy to contact. My phone number is everywhere. You can jump on LinkedIn and talk to me. I'm super, super accessible so far, right? Maybe if I get too famous like you, man, I'm gonna have to pull that back a little bit. But again, it's out there. I put everything out there. I don't hold any information back. Now, if you want to jump on my workshops, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for those because I surge it into you at that point. I'm just like shoving it into your brain, But outside of the scope of that, I share everything how to do all this stuff. If you go to my Facebook page, if you go to AImogul.com, go to my Facebook page. Every day I'm showing new ways to make money. I literally teach a workshop or this ongoing workshop that's called How to Secure the Bag with AI, how to get money with AI. Every day I'm always showing new opportunities, new ways of doing this. So guys, there's no excuses anymore. My man put you on. He brought an OG in the building. You know what I mean? But I really sincerely mean this. Like, this is an opportunity for everyone. There's no walls here anymore. You don't have to have a 4-year degree for this. It just started. You're still good. Jump in.
Still early. Micah, I hope you're not AI generator, right? I mean, you're not an AI person.
This
You're
is
real.
me. The real me, man. It's the real me.
Well, there you have it, guys. As he said, check out ChatGPT AI, the other platforms that he just said. You could also use this platform called DaVinci. It is an app that generates images,
Great
some
images.
great technology there, and just explore, research, brainstorm. Go to one of his workshops and see what's up. Well, anyways, Micah, you said a lot. Any closing words before we go?
Yo, guys, everyone could jump in this. Everyone could jump in this. I really want to create an army of people around me who are all getting money. So I promise you, your man is not lying when he tells you that this is the conduit that you need to just look into it. I don't care how old you are. Anyone can jump in this. Let's go get this money.
Micah Berkley, I appreciate you coming on to the Sleon Productions podcast.